Hello, it's not just after I immediately made the last video. It's definitely not. It is really. Programme time. Today we have a programme from the 2015 season, which is, the last one was 2008, this one's 2015, so it's quite a long way after. This is how many years of programmes I've got. We're going to end up doubling up the year eventually. I'll try and make sure I don't double up the years yet. I've got some interesting ones as well. I've got some like Wembley final ones, cup games, things like that, so I might be able to find some of them out as well. This one, it was obviously raining because it's all frayed at the edge. You can tell when it was raining at a match because the programme's all frayed. These ones are very much of the style of that they are today, and they're good because I like them because they can fit in my hand, and they're not the horrible slippy material. Unfortunately, it's the Nigel Adkins season, and we played against Southend. Sheffield United versus South. Oh my God! 14th of November 2015. 3 PM kickoff. They were £3 back then. The programmes. It has Dean Hammond on the front of it. That's not good. Team at the time: Mark Howard, Kieran Freeman, Bob Harris, James Wallace, John Brayford, Chris Basham, who's still with us, Ryan Flynn, Paul Coots, Billy Sharp, Jose Baxter, Mark McNulty, George Willis, Matt Doan, Neil Collins, Stefan Skugel, Martin Wolf. It's a big blooming squad this. Connor Salmon, Jay McEverley, Jamal Campbell-Rice, Craig Alcock, Lewis Reed, Michael Higdon, Diego Di Girolamo, George Long, Terry Kennedy, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Callum McFadzean, Shea Adams, Kieran Wallace, Conor De Mayo, Harrison Maguire, Florent Cavelier, David Edgar, Dean Hammond. Blooming, that's a big squad. I mean, look at that. Look at our squad compared to Southend's there. Whoop, whoop. I used to look at that all the time. Our squad hasn't been as big, especially since Wilder took over it. He slashed the squad right back. Saturday the 14th of November 2015. Got it up now. Sheffield United 2, Southend 2. Now, I'm pretty sure as well, if I go on here and type in Sheffield United 2, Southend 2, I'll probably be able to get the highlights for you. Yep, I've got the highlights for you. I'm going to put them in the description below. So if you want to watch the highlights of the match on the official Sheffield United channel, watch them below. I'm going to watch the highlights myself now, and just so it jogs my memory. So the score was 2-2. We drew 2-2. Can you believe it? Drawing 2-2 with Southend. And then a few seasons later we were drawing 3-3 with Man United, and you know, only losing to Liverpool and Man City by 1-0 in the Premier League. And now we're struggling again. But luckily only in the Championship at this moment in time. Oh, wow. Oh, Ryan Leonard scored against us. I remember Ryan Leonard scoring. I remember watching that goal when we signed Ryan Leonard. Never did anything for us, did he? We ended up selling him to Millwall. 2-0. So we went 2-0 down. Our goals on that game were scored by Baxter and Collins. Oh, Baxter scored that one where he fell over on his bum. I do remember that goal. So that made it 2-1, and then Neil Collins scored. What did it say? Neil Collins scored in his 200th appearance for Sheffield United. Wow, 200. But I always liked Collins. You see, I think Cloughy did a whole thing about Maguire. When Maguire went to Man United, he spoke about Maguire in this thing, and he said in that Maguire made Collins look good. I always thought that Collins helped Maguire a lot. I liked Collins. I thought Collins was okay. He was certainly decent. I mean, there was a spell where him and Maguire were both coming out with the ball constantly, and he was doing it as well as Maguire. He wasn't quite as good at it as Maguire, but Maguire's really, really good. But he was excellent, you know. I liked Collins. I thought he was good. Team we started on the day. Let me go through it. We started George Long in goal. Back four we had Freeman, Basham, Collins and Harris. So Basham and Collins, I didn't even know Basham. I didn't even think that Basham had played with Collins if you think about it. But of course he had. So Basham and Collins centre halves. Wow. Freeman, right back. Bob Harris, left back, who, I don't know, after Bob Harris, he disappeared into the wilderness. Kieran Freeman, I think, went to Portsmouth recently. George Long, I think, is still at Hull. Then in midfield, we had Campbell, Rice, Hammond, Coots, and Adams playing on the left. I mean, there's a couple in there. Coots, he obviously ended up doing well for us after a bit of time. I didn't think he was good this season. I thought he was really poor. Hammond never worked out. Adams obviously ended up going on and doing so well. Baxter, I think, did he recently retire? I think as well, Jose Baxter, talking about it. And Billy Sharp, who's still with us. So that was the squad. On the bench we had Howard, Wallace, Matt Doan, I like Matt Doan, Scoogle, who did well for us for a little while, Salmon, oh god, Salmon, Jay McEverley, another one, and Harrison Maguy. Magahi or Maguy, it was Maguy, I would say, Maguy. It sounds like MacGyver, that's how you have to remember it, Maguy, but don't say the V bit, because it's Harrison Maguy. I remember the game, now I jog my memory. Certainly not a game that you'd want to remember because we didn't win. But let's go through the programme. What was in the programme at this period? The gaffer, Nigel Adkins. Never worked for Nigel, did it? He's not a bad manager, Adkins. It just really didn't work for him with us. There's a little report with Jamal Campbell-Rice, him talking. James ready to start his Blades career. Never happened. He just got injured a lot. Ended up playing down the vision. I think did he end up at Burton though? I think Cloughy might have had him at Burton the other season. Oh hey! Link with China set to provide boost for Sheffield charities. But then we're looking at, look, there's little Jim Phipps. Remember Jim Phipps? Is he Canadian, American guy? I follow him on, he must be American. I follow him on Twitter. Massive Trump supporter. Who'd have thought it? Jim Phipps. He was a big part of what brought Brayford to the club. Didn't need him though, unfortunately, as much as we liked Brayford. It was wrong to sign him at the time. Beat Fleetwood 3-0 at that point. Adams scored 2 and Sharp scored in this. Shows a little bit there, look, with Adams and Jose Baxter. Adams scoring there. Obviously Sharp scored quite a lot. I think he scored 20 goals that season. There's an exclusive interview with George Long. Not going to go through the interview, but just chatting to him about stuff. It's a shame for George Long. He's never could get going and get consistent throughout a season. Because he was good this season, and when Wilder came in, he was like, yeah, we need to give him a new contract because he'd been good. And then obviously he had a shocking first few games. And brought in Simon Moore, who steadied it out at the back. Under 18, who did we have in the 18s at the time? Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Charlesworth, Kelly, Cummins, Semple, Smith, Gordon. These are the same ones who we still got. Players like Gordon. Surely not, is it? Might be. Might mention him somewhere here. Shea Gordon. We've got Kyron Gordon now. It's not Shea Gordon, is it? Might be another one though. Might be another brother. We had this little thing called Twitter Blades, which talked about on Twitter. I remember we used to send tweets in. There was a certain period we used to send tweets in, and we used to do it all the time. We used to try and make it because there was me, my friend who sat to my right, and a friend who sat to my left, and we all tweeted in at one point and tried to all get in the program. And I think 2 of us got in. I think. Can't remember I'll have to try and find the games where we managed to get in. I remember once sending a tweet into Matty Doan saying, do you ever get lots of banter about nicking everyone's goals? It wasn't even grammatically correct at the time, but they put it in, and he went no, obviously. But I sent it as a joke question. I thought they're never going to ask him this, and they did. Another photo there of Bassett, taken by the old photographer Baldy. Favourites then and now they had. I don't think Coots was a favourite at that point, but they were comparing him with Rob Kozluk. I used to like Rob Kozluk. A whole report with Jack Lester, talking to Jack Lester, who's obviously with the club now. I think he's I don't know if he's something to do with the reserves, I think he's to do with the reserves. He was the manager of the reserves at one point, then we brought in Heckingbottom, so he'll be like assistant manager under Heckingbottom, I'm assuming. We lost 2-1 to Millwall around that time. Baxter penalty, I think. Has to be Baxter penalty. Baxter used to score penalties for fun. Who did they have as manager? Was it Brown? Phil Brown. Phil Brown, the manager. I used to want Phil Brown as our manager for a period. When we needed someone to come in and really have a go at him. I used to quite like Phil Brown. Yeah, but he always drifted around League 2 after that. After he did well with Hull, got him to the Premiership. But yeah, it never quite worked out for Phil. So the quiz they used to do at the time. I remember I used to do that at the matches. I used to do the quiz with the people around us in the where we used to sit. We only sit on the family stand, so we don't sit on the cop where everyone is enjoying themselves in a different manner. We sit on the in the family stand and enjoy just speaking and saying, "Oh, I wonder what." Look, we just ask the questions. Birthday spotlight, Connor Salmon. Connor Salmon had a couple of good games for us. People seem to forget it. I remember him playing against Donny once. He had an absolute blinder a game. Hit the crossbar from about 35 yards with a curling shot. But unfortunately, he did miss a few sitters for us. And to say he looked like he would be such a good target man, he never won a header. And that's what really let us down with Connor Salmon. Phony football. That was a bit where they talked about the player's last call and last text and things like that. Took him to Ryan Flynn on this one. I've got that kit. That's the kit I wear. I don't buy kits very often. I wait till the end of the season, see if they're cheap, see if they've got them in my size, which they rarely don't, like large adult. They've run out of large adult. So I end up just not getting a kit. I really want the orange goalkeeper kit this year, but it's 55 quid and I don't want to spend 55 quid on a kit. So I end up not getting them. My red and white shirt is like the season we went to the FA Cup semi-final, and I've got a green shirt and a black shirt that I wear sometimes, but the green one's from this season. The black one's the one with all the names on it, which they sent out 125th anniversary. So that's the season we got relegated from the Championship. So there we are. That's it for this one. Adkins season. Not always nice to look back at the Adkins season, but I have done today. Let's not do it again anytime soon, because blooming heck, I don't want to know more about the Adkins season. It was boring. Phew. I remember I clapped the players at the end there and everyone was booing. And I went to the front and clapped and everyone was booing behind me. I felt probably I should be booing. But I didn't because I'm such a nice guy. Anyway though, that's it for today. I hope you enjoy. If you enjoyed the episode, if you like this sort of series of me looking through the programmes, then like and subscribe and all the rest of the stuff that you can do. And that's it. Thank you. Bye.